Hawkman #4, Robert Venditti writing, Brian Hitch on the art. You two read this, so by all means.
Yep.
Yes,
He's
too.
on Thanagar. He's done that whole, backtrack to talk to my past self thing that we've seen him do with Khufu.
Yep.
But now he's doing it with Qatar Hole on Thanagar. And it's
That's most of the issue. There's only like
Yeah.
one page on Earth, and then the tease
Yeah.
at the end for the next issue.
Yeah, so he's there and he's remembering this and they bring up Bith, who is the reason that Qatar Hole and Shaira ended up on Earth traditionally. And I had no idea about the stuff that happened with the dad. Like he ended up because of Bith's shape shifting abilities, he had shapeshifted into Qatar's dad, and Qatar ended up accidentally killing him, thinking that it was Bith. And I didn't know any of that, and it adds some depth to the Qatar Hole character, why he's so dedicated to justice and being a space cop,
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that either. The thing here is Qatar thinks that Hawkman is Biff because he sees him, he sees him pull out his wings, and he's like, "Hang on a second, you just shapeshifted," because his wings don't do that.
Right, and also you find out that Qatar's dad was the one that created the wing like technology to have them fly, and so he's dropping this knowledge on Qatar, saying like, yeah, but in your private moments you thought about like, how come my dad didn't design these better? And it's that thing to make you want justice made you become a wingman police versus being a scientist like your dad, even though you have all these questions, But he ends up, they have like this small fight back and forth, and Shaira shows up.
Some more mace throwing action.
Yep. Oh man, so good. And Shaira shows up, and there's this weird familiarity there. But Qatar basically kicks him off of the statue, and there's all this talk about the story of this, like, he's the hero of heroes on Thanagar. I can't think of his name right now.
Calmaran?
Yeah, Calmaran. And there's this big statue to him.
He's kind of like the Zeus by the look of it.
Yeah, he looks like Zeus or Prometheus or some kind of Greek deity that's responsible for their culture. And he throws Carter off, but Carter, of course, hangs on, ends up finding a hawk emblem on the bottom side of his finger.
Yeah.
Almost like mocking, like whoever put this there, whatever future past version put this there, almost mocking Carter for not looking there first.
Yeah, because the hint was, that Calmaran will point the way.
Right.
And the statue is literally just pointing.
Right.
So you just look at where it's pointing.
Right. So after he finds what he's meant to, he activates it with the mace and the nth metal, and he ends up coming back to Earth, where you see him in Indonesia for whatever reason. He's with one of his, families.
Yeah.
That he's befriended over all these adventures. And they start to heal him up, and he pieces together, because he's all beat up from this fight with Qatar. And he ends up remembering a part of this prophecy about the blood, or from what, not the prophecy, but what Xanadu told him.
Yeah, the blood contains an ocean of existence in a single drop. So, cuts his finger, bleeds on the thing, and it activates, and it teleports him. And you got the Indonesian dude's like, well, guess one less for dinner.
Yeah. And it teleports him to the microverse, and we finally get to see Ray Palmer, which was... So I've recently finished Johns' Hawkman run, and one of the best parts of that was the relationship between Ray and Carter. It's one of the all-time bromances from comics, like, Booster and Ted, or, Guy, or not Guy, but Hal and Barry, or Hal and Ollie. So the fact that he's putting... Ray here and seeing how this is going to factor in, if maybe the microverse is the reason for the reincarnations, because Qatar seemed to think that Calmaran is responsible for reincarnations and whatnot. So we'll see how that factors in. But yeah, it was a really enjoyable issue.
Yeah.
Did I forget anything? So I think that was most of it.
No, I think the understanding that Carter and Qatar came to.
Right.
It was quite nice to see that reconciliation. It's unusual to get that.
Yeah, well, especially out of Hawkman, who's this always, this strong-willed, I'm gonna do what I want kind of guy, and
Yeah.
both of them can't do that.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd say we missed is the opening, which
Yeah.
is labeled as a faraway world, and Qatar
Oh,
mentions
right.
later he dreams of this,
That's
and it's the Deathbringers, and they're
Yeah.
these giant beings who destroy this
With
this
wings,
planet.
which
Have
we've
these-
kind of seen before.
yeah, it's
in
not
Visions.
wings like Hawkman though. It's more
Yeah.
imagine like an anime mech
Yeah.
suit, like a Gundam
They're
suit.
up. Yeah, they're up behind them. There's like 3 pieces.
Yeah.
So,
It kind of reminds me of that. Very insect-like, actually.
Yeah.
In the way that they are.
Not too much. But yeah, Hitch's art is getting better, I feel, because it has this grittiness to it that fit Hawk World, I think, better than some of the other places we've seen.
Yeah, there's a page where we're flying through the air in Thanagar, in the chase, and it turns a corner, and as we turn the page, you get this double page spread of the city, and Carter's like, damn, I forgot how great this place looked.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's one of the best panels I've ever seen from Hitch.
Yeah. Yep. I think this fits Hitch's style.
Yeah.
More than any of the books that we've read so far on the show that Hitch has drawn. So, it was weird that I heard Venditti and Hitch on Hawkman, and now it's turning into one of my favorite books of the month, just because of this, knockout, drag out adventure that it's doing.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So, what are you rating it?
I'm gonna go 8.5.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. It's about an 8.5. It's one of those ones, much like Superman or Action, I want more right now.
Yeah.
I wish it was double shipping, just to see where this goes. But I'm not upset that I have to wait, because this was one of the books that I waited for last, which usually I don't do. Usually Superman's last, but this week it was Hawkman.
Plus we know Hitch can't sustain double shipping.
That's true. That's true.
Let's keep it going as it is.
Mm-hmm.